This video is the actual Movie Maker demonstration set up to show you how I created the prior videos. The goal of these videos is to shorten the length from 7 or 8 minutes to approximately 4 minutes. We look at the different parts of Movie Maker used to create the demo videos. I explain how I set up a skeleton project and how to create a project from an existing project used as a model. I cover the essential menu objects like setting up text captions. We start talking about ways to edit out non-essential video segments. Today I'm going to talk about how I create the video similar to the one that I did on my short flip demo video, only this time we're actually going to go into the Movie Maker utility itself. Let's go ahead and open that up. I know not everybody has Windows Movie Maker, and there's a lot of different softwares out there. This is the Movie Maker utility right here. I will say at this point that Deb Brockman at Artzology also has a short video tutorial on Movie Maker, and I'll put a link to her tutorial in the description box below. You might want to go look at that too. It's worth looking at it because people approach projects and things differently, and you might learn things from her that you won't learn from me. So if you're new to this, one of the first things you want to do is start adding your videos. So you'll make sure there's a home, an animations, visual effects, project, and view screen. Now your home is the one that you're going to work off of primarily, especially when you want to start adding videos. And if you're working from a blank screen, I do not work from a blank screen. I did when I very first started. But then after you get going, what you'll want to do is copy over prior videos and rename them to your current project, and you won't have all that initial build-up to do. But if, just say you are starting from scratch, what you want to do is first start by adding your graphic or your beginning slate, your beginning card, I call it the splash screen. So what I did is it says click here to browse for videos or photos. You can also go up to the menu where it says add videos and photos. Either one will bring you to the same place. You will navigate to the file that you want to be in. I happen to already be there, and I'm going to pick my beginning card, which I've already prepared using PicMonkey and my Artweaver graphic utility. So all this is a JPEG. It's just a graphic file that I put in there. And then I usually just copy it and paste it because I want more than one. And then you might want to put in your graphic. I always have a graphic. So I'm going out to that file again. I got a picture file. If you watch my videos, usually at the end of my video, I'll show another graphic file out there of what I created during that video, and I prepare all that ahead of time in my graphic program and using PicMonkey.com. I'll put a link to their site too. Now I'm going to copy and then I'm going to paste 3 more times. 1, 2, 2, and 3. Now you have the bones of your program in there. Now you're going to need some text in here or whatever you want to put in there. I usually put in The.Meri.Ateliet. At this point, you have the bones of your program in there. And let's go, when I click on the second graphic, every time I add something, if I go up here and add videos, it will add it after that graphic where you have, see this little vertical mark right here where my cursor is? If I click here and add a video, which I'm going to do right now, I'm going to add my video that I've already recorded. It's a flip through of my next graphics. Then it'll add it right after the one where you had your vertical line. Now, I'm going to get rid of this entire thing. All I wanted to do was show you let's set this for 2 seconds, just for, okay. And all I wanted to do was show you how you can get an initial setup. You have the bones of your video in there now. So not forget it all, but just kind of remember that's a good place to start. Okay, now I'm going to wipe all that out, and I'm going to show you how I use a different project that I've already set up from my former video. I am going to use this project that I created, this demo video, on my very first editing in Movie Maker program. I'm going to use that project as a model for the one that I'm doing now. So that is this one, and I'm just bringing it into my Movie Maker, and see where I have my beginning graphic and my second one, and then I added some more, and here are all my they're filing in there now. It takes a while for Movie Maker to get them processed, but that's the meat of my program there that I copied over. So I save this as save project as, and I'm going to save it in this as this project. I'm going to save it right here. It says it already exists. Do you want to replace it? Yes, I do. Okay, now let's just create a new project. Let's wipe it out, and let's go back in and make sure that it saved everything. And where it says new project, an open project, here I've got recent projects up here, and my top one is the one that I just looked at. So that's what I'm going to click on, and there it is. Now I want to convert this. All that's in here now is what I did for this video, and since I've already uploaded that, I don't need it anymore. So I'm going to start converting that to the one that I want to put up next. So the very first thing I do is go in there and take out the music files. I just find that that's helpful. I go clear to the end, and I start removing all my music files. Are, see these green odd, it says there's a music note and an A, and that's the name of the file. I'm going to remove all that, and I'm just clicking on it, and then I'm right clicking, and you see that X that says remove? I'm removing it. I'm just getting rid of all the music in there. I don't really need it because I'm gonna convert it. Remove. Okay, then I come back, and I don't really need all my I need my text file here. Right here, this is a text file. If I click on it, see it comes up, and it shows all my text in here. And I'll show you how to create one of those, but right now I'm just going to adapt it, and I don't really want to remove that. So I come down here, you'll see I have another text file here, and that is this little verbiage up here that says The.Meri.Ateliet. I want that, but I'm going to change it. Right here it says text duration, because I have this caption running throughout my entire video until I get down to the thank you. Well, I want to keep that, but I don't want to delete it when I delete my other things. So I move it up here to the second placeholder, the second graphic, and then I go into my text tools, which is still this one, where it says text duration of 200, and for right now, temporarily, I change it to 5. Just temporary. It just gets rid of that thinking that it's going to run for 200 seconds for right now. We will change that back later to another value. Then I come down here, and the reason I moved it is because I don't want to delete it when I delete all these old movie files that I don't want in this project because I've already uploaded. So I come in here, and you can either right click. When you right click, you get this little menu and remove, or you can't see my keyboard, but I can also hit the delete key. And right now what I'm doing is removing them by deleting them with my delete key. I'm going to move this text over just a tiny bit so I don't mess it up. Okay? So now, at this point, I'm going to go right back up here to the top left. I'm going to hit that little arrow and it brings down the menu. And where it says Save Project, I'm going to save it again because I'm saving all my changes. And you can see that if I hit New Project, it'll close out. I'll get to my blank screen again. And if I open it up this menu again, I'm going over to Recent Projects and I'm going to hit the top one, which is the one I'm working in, and you can see it saved all my changes. Then what I do is I come down to the very bottom of my model program that I have in here to this graphic where it says Video Produced By, and I start changing this information. Rather than having to type it in all the time, I just convert it from the one that I copied in. So instead of April 3, I think I'll set it for April 5, which will be Tuesday. Okay, and the music still, I'm going to leave that as Leslie Strutt. I'm just going to use that same music file. And I copied that out of the YouTube audio library. If you're a content creator and if you've monetized your videos, you'll have access to YouTube's audio library. And I use YouTube's music all the time because it's there, and it is possible that you could get copyright violations, but not if you use the free stuff. Usually they'll show you what's free and what's not. And we'll talk about that later. But this is free out of the YouTube's audio library. And I like Leslie Strutt music. So I've changed my information. I've changed the date from April 3 to April 5, and I'm going to use the same music. If I was changing it to a different music, I would change this information in here. And we'll talk about all that in another one if you want to. Then I bop back up to the top to my very first screen, and you'll see I have right under here, you see this pink area where it says the. That is a caption. See, it's bopping up here, The.Meri.Ateliet. That's a text file that I put in there, a caption file. I'm going to go to my home screen. You'll see title, caption, credits. I put this, The.Meri.Ateliet, in there using this caption. Let's go down here to my blank one. I'll show you how you do that. So I'm down to the bottom just for demo purposes. I'm going to take this out later, but I want to show you how to add text. I'm down to the bottom graphic, very last one in my video. It's my graphic file that I created outside of this program. I created it in a graphic program and in PicMonkey, and I'll put links to both of those in the description box below. Both of those, I'm using Artweaver graphic software. I'm using the free demo version, and I'm using PicMonkey, the free version of PicMonkey out there online. And I'll put links to those. And if I remember, I'll put a link to the Movie Maker demo version too. I use free software for now, mostly because it's all that I can afford, but also because it works for me right now. I don't have a lot of the fancy things that are going on in other videos, but right now I'm learning enough doing this that if I get skilled at doing this, maybe I can advance to other software. So let's go back. I'm going to show you how to put in a text caption in here. Come up to your menu. We're on the Home tab, right up here. We're at Home. If you bop over, you'll see Title, Caption, and Credits. We want to hit Caption, and that'll bring up a little box that says Enter Text Here. So I'm going to type in my text, which will be The.Meri.Ateliet, and I'm going to change my font from the Segoe UI. I like to use, and I try to keep my text as standardized as possible in my videos and across my videos. I like this A.R. Christie font. Okay? So when I clicked out of there, it shortened my text box to fit my text. So I usually try to move it in the center. And then if you come up here again, you'll see the color. You can change the color of your font. If I wanted it red, I could change it to red or purple, or I could go to more colors and make it a bright green, or I could click it again, go to more colors, and hit the define custom colors and change it to a different color, custom color. I'm not going to because I don't want to change it. I want to keep that green, but I don't want my verbiage to be green. For this, I want it to continue to be white. Then I can, right here, there's grow font box and a decrease font, a shrink font box. And I want my font to be just a little bit larger on this white The.Meri.Ateliet. So I'm increasing the size of my text, and when you do that, it changes the shape of that box. So if I get on the center there, I can increase the size of my box so that my words will fit in there. Now, if you come see over here on the top menu over to the right, there's all these options in here. I'm going to hit this bottom arrow on that box, and it gives me all the ways that I can make this text animate. Up top is none, and that's what we're seeing now. But look what happens when I hit it. I can fade it. It kind of, look, well, you can see it on this one, how it swirls around. I make it swirl there. Cinematic. I think that's the one I use, I believe. This is the one I use, zoom in big. But I use this one a lot down here with a contemporary. I use that one a lot, and I use this one a lot, and I use this one. So we're going to click on this one for this, and then right underneath of your screen, your main screen, is a play button. We're going to play just this little 7 second. This is 7 seconds here. Or this is 4 seconds, excuse me. I changed it to 4. It's 4 seconds, but watch what happens to this M when we play it. The Meri.Ateliet when we play it. That's what you see at the beginning of my program. Now, since that was just demo, I'm going to remove this text box by right-clicking and hitting remove because I don't want that at the end. Let's go back up to the top and let's play this one. If I click on it, and if you click on up here, you'll see video tools. You can see that the duration is 7 seconds. You can change that duration up to 30 seconds, and you can also type in, if I wanted that to be 60 seconds, I would just type in 60. But I want to leave it at 7 seconds. Come down here and hit the play button underneath of it, and here we go. That's how I got the Meri.Ateliet to do that. You may be familiar with that, but I'm really talking to people who are beginning to Movie Maker. Now if we go to the next one, let's hit the play and let it go into this next graphic over here. What's happening? Well, you didn't notice it, but look between this graphic with my Meri.Ateliet and this graphic, you will see right up here I have text that says The Meri.Ateliet YouTube channel. Now for now, I'm leaving it there. I don't want it there by the time I finish my video. What I'll do is I'll move it down into another portion of the program, and I want this text to show up through my entire video. And I never used to have that, and I never used to have my logo over here. But I learned that if your movie gets pirated, you have created your movie with identifying who you are out here. Now, they could probably grab your movie file, copy it in like I'm doing here, and change all that, but that's a lot of work. We're just making it harder for the pirates, if you ask me. And you have proof that this is your movie. I just won't go into it any more than explaining to you why I put that in there. It just identifies who you are throughout the entire length of the movie. It's really the creator's choice as to whether they want to do that. And I also create my beginning graphic over here with my logo, which is my little pincushion doll all in red. So we'll get to all of that in a later video too. I don't want to get too much in depth, except for I wanted to explain to you what this was about. We'll be moving this later, but I'm just explaining to you what it is for now. Then I come over into my next graphic, which I have as 37 seconds. And let's just let this play for a little bit. Let's go over and look at the next segment. And watch for how this text will move in here. This text will be similar to the text down here that says, "Thank you for watching." Okay? See how that moved in? Remember how we created our animation, our text file, and I said I used this one a lot? That's how that's all set up. Now for this video, let's go back in here. For this video, this is all the text that I had on the last video. I will be changing that text to fit this video, but for now I'm going to leave it just like it is. Then I come down after this one and I start putting in my files, my video files that I recorded on my camera. In my case, I recorded it on my cell phone. So I go back to my home key again and I hit Add Videos. Now I'm already in the right file to where I have everything that I want to use today. And I like to have them open in the detail mode, which shows all the text and everything. Now I'm familiar with what all of this is, and I know this MP4 file is the file that I created today where I filmed the faces videos that I want to show you today. So I'm just going to open it. Okay, open, and there it is. You can see I have my book facing a little bit different today than I did in the last video. I did that on purpose. So just to separate the differences between the two files. So I'm going to start playing this, and what we're going to do is we're going to listen for things that we can cut out. Okay? And I'm going to stop it when I think that I can cut something out. And the reason why I'm cutting some things out is that when I'm filming this, I get to chattering. I can go down rabbit trails, which are interesting, but they add to the length of the video. And what we want to do is make this as short and to the point as possible. Not that it's not interesting, but we want to not go into so many rabbit trails that your viewer will get bored and click off and go someplace else. So I'm going to start playing this. I'm going to show you some more of my faces photos today. Please excuse any shaking. I am holding my camera in my hand, and it's going to be a little bit more shaky than if it were on a tripod. I did 4 sketches yesterday. This is the first one. Okay, now I know what's coming up. Because I'm holding my camera in my hand, sometimes when I move that camera, it makes a bad noise. And I'm going to edit that out. So I'll show you where that happens. Did you hear that? I don't want that scratchy noise. So I'm going to come back into here. This is the first one. Okay, and then I stopped it by hitting this pause play button down here. And I'm going to go back up to the video tools and the edit and see there's a split. And I'm going to hit the split video. And that will create a split between when I started and what's left. Now we're going to listen to that scratchy noise and we're going to cut it out. So let's listen to it. Isn't she fun? Now luckily all I'm cutting out is "Isn't she fun?" That's very hard to hear. You just won't hear "Isn't she fun?" in the final video. So I'm going to go back over here. When you split it, see this little line? You want to pay attention to where this little vertical line is. When you split it, sometimes your line will bounce back to there, but sometimes it'll stay down here. You want to go to the segment that you want to remove. See how I moved my cursor back up over to here, and that moved that line back over to there. I'm going to right-click and remove. You'll get very used to doing this if you edit a lot of files, believe me. Okay? Yesterday, this is the first one. I really love how This is just the outline of her hand. She really had her head resting on her hand, but I didn't bother in sketching her entire hand because, well, to tell you the truth, it was not visible to me. Okay, at this point, I want to have you take note down here, right at the lower right. We are 1 minute and 23 seconds and 34 hundredths of a second into this video. We have the entire video that I have created here now. The project is 8 minutes, 17 seconds, and 71 hundredths of a second. So I want to shorten this video as much as I can by editing out things that are not important. And we're just going to do that out of this one MP4 file. And then on the next video, I'll show you some other things, okay? So, although this is good information here, I really love, now, this is just the outline of her hand. She really had her head resting on her hand, but I didn't bother in sketching her entire hand because, well, to tell you the truth, it was not visible to me. I really like this one. Okay, now see where I flipped that over and I said I really like this one? I've decided that for the sake of keeping this program short, all I'm going to do is show her the lady. I'm not going to tell you all that about the hand. You might say, well, I wanted to hear it. Well, yeah, another time. Maybe when I do a flip of the entire book. But the goal for this video that I'm showing you now is to alert you to things that you can cut out to edit it down, to shorten your video from 1 hour to 15 minutes, or from 8 minutes to however we end up with here. So I'm going to cut this part out right in here where I flip. Okay, I'm going to split. See, okay, my little vertical line stayed on this bottom segment down here, which is the rest of my video. I want to go back up to this one. I'm going to right click and I'm going to remove it. Okay, so what we're doing, now I'll show you where we're at. This is the first one. I really like this one. Then I did this one of a young boy again. Now, did you hear that scratching sound? Because I'm holding my phone in my hand, I get that horrible scratching sound, which probably could be adjusted in another utility. I'm still playing with that, but we're going to just delete that for now. So, then I did this one of a young boy again. We don't want the again in there, of a young boy. We want to end it when I say of a young boy. Then I did this one of a young boy. Now, I got the in there. So I'm going down here to where it says previous frame. I'm just going to click it a couple times. I want to get rid of my And then I'm going to split it. And hopefully I got it. Sometimes you have to play around with that to get what you want out of there. Again. Okay, so I'm going to split it again. And I'm going to remove that scratchiness. Let's just play that one. Again. Okay, so right click and remove it. Now let's go over here and listen to him again. I really like this one. Then I did this one of a young boy. Enjoyed doing that one. We don't need all that. I did 4 of them yesterday. Now, there's a little part in here that we don't need, right in here. I want to pick up again with, we did 4 of them. I did 4 of them yesterday. That one. All right, probably right in here. I'm going to split it again, and I'm going to remove this segment right here. So I should be where I'm ready to flip to my 3rd one. I did 4 of them yesterday. I did this one. This is a young fellow. I would say he's probably in his mid-30s. See that? See that scratchiness that I get in there? Sometimes I leave it in because I'm explaining to you that he's a young man in his 30s.